Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be speaking all about like gym mistakes and fitness mistakes and things that beginners should know before they start their own fitness journey. In my opinion anyway, I'm going to speak about my own experience and some of the mistakes I've made myself and some of the mistakes I have seen others make, and they're just common ones. I'm hoping this video will help a lot of people that have been nervous about starting in the gym or just don't know where to start. And I'm going to try my best not to ramble on, because I feel like, you know, when I'm sitting on this couch and when I'm answering questions or chatting about a topic that I like, I am inclined to ramble a small bit. So I'm going to try my best not to ramble, get straight to the point and let you know what I think is important. So the points I make won't be in any particular order. To be honest, I haven't even taken down my points. Like normally before a sit down video I might take down some points that I want to cover like in order of what I think is important. But in today's video I honestly haven't planned out what I'm going to speak about, because I think it should be an easy enough topic for me to talk about because I've been through all these mistakes myself. So first things first, I think one massive mistake which is quite common in the fitness industry is people not educating themselves before they start their fitness journey. So I feel like people treat training and dieting different to any other sport. Like if you were to start playing basketball, you wouldn't go onto a basketball court without having a clue of the rules or how to play the game. Same with any other sport, but I feel like a lot of people go into training and dieting without having an absolute clue what they're doing and without trying to educate themselves first. So by educating yourself, I don't mean that you need to go away and do a course and study the diet and training every single night, because see, it's a lot more complex than other sports. But I feel like everybody should put a little bit of effort into educating themselves on the basics of training and dieting before you start it yourself. As I said, it doesn't need to be anything aggressive. Just find someone or something online that you know is credible and try your best to learn from them, even if it's a couple of minutes each evening on a different topic. Once you find someone that you know is credible and something you understand, then a little bit of learning each day will honestly make a huge difference to preventing you from making massive mistakes at the start, which could be damaging in the long term. I went into training without having a clue. To be fair, I was quite young. I was only about 15 or 16 when I started training. But that's still no excuse. I went in and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and I ended up with a long-term injury that I still suffer with today because I just didn't take the time of day to study training and dieting before I started it myself. So go and try learn yourself the basics of how to train in a safe manner and how to diet in a safe manner before ever doing anything else. Before even stepping foot in the gym, try and educate yourself a bit. Find a reliable coach or find someone or something that you know is credible and learn from them. Learn the basics before you do anything. So that brings me on to my next point about finding people online and who you are listening to online. This is another thing that can be really damaging. The internet and social media are a great thing, don't get me wrong, that is my life, but it can also be really damaging at times if you are listening to the wrong people giving the wrong info. I've said this before, but if you are following someone and if you think they look great, if they really look the part, that doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. Just because someone has great genetics or a great physique doesn't mean that they're educated enough to give you nutritional or training advice. So just be very careful with who you listen to. Scrutinize their content, see if they actually know what they're talking about when it comes to training and dieting, and try to see beyond their physiques, because you need to have a brain behind the physique to be able to coach anybody. Another massive mistake that I made, and that thousands, millions of people are doing all the time, is buying into the fad diets and extreme dieting. I did it when I was younger and I completely backlashed and probably ended up in a worse position than what I was before I tried the fad diet. I've seen all those soup diets, I've seen the shake diets where you're only drinking a certain shake. And I can honestly say, no matter how tempting you think they are, no matter how quickly you feel you need to get in shape, these are never ever worth it, and you'll always end up worse off than what you were at the start. You need to forget the quick fix approach and remember that training and dieting is an investment into yourself and it's a lifestyle change. So I know, especially our generation, we're really impatient and we want things fast. We want to have the abs, we want to grow the booty, we want to do everything in the space of like a finger click. But that's honestly not how this industry works. No matter who tells you you can do this in this 30-day challenge, it's just not worth your while. You should think of it as a lifestyle change as opposed to something that's just really abrupt and sudden and quick, because It's just a really dangerous approach to have. So the next mistake that I see really commonly in people is having the all or nothing approach when it comes to adhering to their plan. So you found a really good coach, they've given you a meal plan and a training program, you have everything set out in place, a great plan to stick to, but you just can't stick to it. You can't apply yourself to it. In this scenario, a lot of people can just like go off plan by having maybe one biscuit and then think, well, I've gone off by one biscuit, I may as well have the whole packet. Then after they've had the packet of biscuits, they feel there's no point sticking to the plan for the rest of the day, so they may as well just get a takeaway and start fresh tomorrow. And then they just feel worthless and useless the next day. They're like, look, I broke the plan, it's not even worth my while, I'm basically back to square one, I may as well just eat whatever I want and forget why I started dieting in the first place. So my advice to this type of person, if you find yourself that you're one of these people, then my advice is to always start small. This is something I have lived by since the start of my fitness journey. There's no point trying to make big, massive, drastic changes in your lifestyle from the beginning. All it is tiny little decisions each day that add up to something great in the end. Don't try overwhelm yourself by saying, oh my god, I need to have abs by this certain date, or just making extravagant goals for yourself and not having a good system put in place first. You need to start small and make better daily habits. And the better your daily habits become and the more frequently you do them, it will make a drastic change in the end. Going from someone that eats takeaway most days a week to someone that works on a meal plan, like that's not how life works. I'd often tell people, you know, if you already have really bad eating habits, how about just try cut down your takeaways from 3 a week to maybe 1 a week, or cut down your fizzy drinks from 3 a day to 1 a day, and gradually decrease things before you decide to go on a meal plan. Going from one extreme to another will never work in your favour. You need to be mentally prepared and have good daily habits before you commit to something. I'm actually reading a book at the moment called Atomic Habits, and it is so good at explaining the point that I'm trying to make about the power of tiny habits in your daily routine. So yeah, Atomic Habits, I think I might have it here somewhere. Okay, I have it. So this is it. It's by James Clear. This is not a paid promo or anything. I literally bought this book last week for like €12 and it's life-changing stuff, so pick it up. Another common fitness mistake that I made myself and I see in a lot of my own clients is girls being afraid to lift heavy because you think you're going to get bulky and manly, and that literally couldn't be further off. I remember when I started training for the first like year or two, I would never really lift very heavy at all. I'd do maybe like 15 to 20 reps in each exercise. I'd never do low rep heavy sets, and eventually my progress came to a massive halt. I looked the same for months on end. I was making no progress and I couldn't understand why, and it's because I wasn't lifting heavy enough. If you want to grow new muscle tissue, you have to give it a reason to, and you have to lift heavier, of course with good form and like when you're ready to. Lifting weights will not make you bulky. Lifting weights will help you build a stronger and sexy physique. You can get your bigger glutes, your more hourglass look, all from lifting weights and lifting heavy. I've been lifting heavy for the last 2.5, 3 years, and I still don't believe that I look bulky, but I've made great progress, and that is something that you gals should not be afraid of. Always have your logbook with you and always aim to beat your numbers if you want to make progress. Another common fitness mistake I see is people bashing cardio. I do cardio 2 to 3 times a week. Cardio will not kill gains. That is the biggest myth. You would have to be at like a really low body fat percentage and be eating barely any food to start losing muscle tissue. Cardio will not make you lose your bum. It will only make you lose the excess fat that might be around that area. So definitely don't neglect your cardiovascular health. It's really important, not just to look good and feel good, but like to live a longer and healthier life. Do your cardio and don't be afraid of it killing your gains, because that's just not how it works. Another common fitness mistake that I see floating around all the time, something that is very close to my heart: diet drinks. If you know me well enough, you would know that I absolutely love my diet drinks. I love my 7-Up Free, and the odd time I'd have a Diet Coke as well. You'd often find people saying that you're gonna literally die from the aspartame in the drink. And you know what, that's just not true. There have been like tests done to prove that you would need so much aspartame to like get a negative effect from it. And diet drinks often help people adhere to their diet plans. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having having 1 or 2 a day. I wouldn't be going any more than 2 a day for sure. But if there's someone telling you that you can't have 0-calorie drinks, then you just need to remove that negativity from your life. There is plenty of room for 0-calorie drinks. They're not going to ruin your progress, and to be honest, they'll actually probably help you adhere to your plan. Okay, so I think I covered most of the mistakes that I made anyway when I started training and dieting. But anyway, I hope you learned something from this video that you can apply to your own fitness journey. If you do have any questions or queries or want to talk about anything, drop them below in the comment section. I'll also leave a link to my coaching programs and my support email address if you want to ask me any questions about training and dieting there as well. I'll be as responsive as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.